Welcome to What the Tech. We're the ones who cut through all the hype to give you the hard-hitting analysis on the tech stories that actually matter.
All right, let's just jump right in with a question that, after a recent attack, suddenly feels terrifyingly real. Could your phone, the one right there in your pocket, be turned into a bomb by some hacker? Now, the answer is probably not what you're thinking. But the truth? Well, the truth is way, way worse.
So, back in September 2024, this story breaks out of Lebanon, and it sounds like it's been ripped straight from a movie script. And the thing is, the entire world got it completely wrong. And that mistake, well, it tells us everything we need to know about where warfare is headed. So picture this. Over 2 days, thousands of pagers and radios just suddenly explode, almost at the exact same time. These are devices being carried by Hezbollah operatives, and you've got videos showing smoke literally pouring out of people's pockets. I mean, it was coordinated, it was devastating, and it seemed totally impossible. And of course, the story just wrote itself, right? The narrative popped up instantly. This has to be some kind of insane cyber attack. We're talking media, the public. Everyone was just convinced that some piece of software, some code, made thousands of batteries overheat and blow up on command. It felt like, okay, welcome to the future of war, and it's terrifying.
Yeah, except that's not what happened. Not even close. You see, almost right away, the engineers, the intel experts, the people who actually know how this stuff works, they knew that whole sci-fi story was just a myth, and they were all saying the same thing. And what they knew, it changes everything.
So, the truth? It wasn't about some god-tier hacker sitting in a dark room playing with code. No, it was something way more physical, way more analog. And honestly, it's kind of more impressive. We're talking a classic old-school spy op.
Okay, so let's just break down why this whole cyber bomb idea just doesn't fly. First off, the tiny little lithium batteries in a pager, they just don't have that kind of boom. They can't create a blast like that. Second, there's just no known way, no exploit that can remotely make thousands of different batteries overheat all at once. And third, getting over 3,000 devices to go off at the exact same instant, pure Hollywood. That's movie stuff.
So, here's the real story. It was a supply chain attack, and that's the key. So forget all that elegant code stuff. Think gritty, boots-on-the-ground espionage. Basically, intelligence operatives found a way to get inside Hezbollah's procurement process. They sold them thousands of pagers that were already booby-trapped, with explosives built right in at the factory. So that signal the pagers got, it wasn't a hack. It was just a simple go command to detonate.
All right, so we've just totally busted the myth. But here's the pivot. We're about to get into why the fantasy is actually the most terrifying part of this whole thing. And hey, if you're getting value out of this kind of analysis, the stuff that cuts through the noise, now would be a great time to hit like and subscribe to What the Tech. And definitely tell us what you think in the comments. Because here's the twist, and this is where it gets really weird. Debunking the myth, that's not even the main story here. The truly disturbing part is that even though everyone now knows the exploding pager hack was fake, governments and security agencies all over the world, they're now desperate to buy the fantasy.
I mean, we're talking about international arms fairs, right? These are the places where the real tools of war get sold. And defense contractors are saying they're getting these just bizarre requests. You have reps from different countries literally asking, hey, can you sell us those Kinetic Cyber tools? They are shopping for phones that explode on command, weaponized wireless earbuds, car batteries you can detonate from halfway around the world. It's like they want the movie version to be real, and they've got the checkbook out ready to pay for it.
And from what we hear, the industry's reaction is basically a polite eye roll. They're looking at these clients like they've watched one too many James Bond movies. But listen, this is not just some funny misunderstanding. What it really shows is this chilling demand out there in the world. A real hunger for push-button assassination that looks like everyday tech.
And that demand, well, it pulls back the curtain on the whole business model of the offensive cyber industry. And it's a model that's built on something very convenient and, yeah, very profitable. A complete moral sidestep.
And this right here, this is the whole game. The vendors, the spyware companies, they draw this very clean line in the sand. They say, our job is just to sell access. We build the tools that can hack a phone, that can get into a camera, but what the client, the government or the spy agency, what they do with that access, surveillance, targeting, dropping a bomb, well, that's on them, not our problem.
Think about that. This one sentence. That part is up to the client. We don't know what they do with it. That's it. That's the entire moral foundation of this industry. It's the ultimate get-out-of-jail-free card. It's plausible deniability. It's moral outsourcing. Whatever you want to call it.
It's how you sell incredibly dangerous weapons and sleep at night pretending you're just some neutral software company.
But is that really good enough? I mean, seriously. This is the exact same logic they use when they sell spyware that ends up on the phones of journalists and activists and political opponents. It's a legal argument, maybe, but it's not a moral one. And that line between the two, it is getting blurrier and blurrier every single day.
Okay, so this brings us to the final point. And honestly, this is the most chilling part of the whole story. Because that demand, the one that was born from some spy movie fantasy, that is exactly what is shaping the future. What sounds like a ridiculous, silly request at an arms fair today becomes tomorrow's product line.
And look, history shows us this happens again and again. Remember the idea of zero-click spyware that could just hack any phone, no questions asked? In the 90s, that was total science fiction. By the 2010s, it had a name, Pegasus. What about hacking phones just by using online ads? That used to be a capability only a few top-tier nations had. Now, you've got companies selling it as automated software. Fantasy always finds a way to become reality.
So yeah, the exploding phone is a fantasy. For now. But the real danger here isn't that the tech doesn't exist. The real danger is that a powerful global market with a ton of money is now actively demanding that it becomes reality. And when you get a fantasy like that lined up with that much profit, it's just a matter of time before somebody builds it. And the real question we all have to ask ourselves is, what happens then?